Make it to me. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Damn it. All right, folks, let's see where we're at here. A little different setup. I'm in a Hilton, and thought I would catch up. Chris Mitchell, the Emperor, is in the house. Is he the Emperor? Hope you're doing well, brother. I am down in California for a trade show. Saturday and Sunday and Monday. Flew in last night, and yeah, a lot of thirsty simps down in Toontown. A lot of thirsty simps. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. It's a little spotty internet, but blame it on Paris Hilton. We got JR in the house, John Boston, JB, the legendary John Boston. Oh man, sorry to hear that. I had it in January and it sucked. It is legit, and it sucked. Bolo from Canada. We got 2 Canadians in the house. Good to have the Canadians. Let me know if the audio is sketchy. I'm on my laptop, my computer laptop for work, and I figured I'd reach out. I got an hour and a half to kill, and we'll talk about simps. And if simps, can you really get her attention and affection for the long term? Matt Downer's back. Juan Galvez, saludos to Juan. But if it's sketchy, let me know. Old Man Odin back. Good to have Old Man Odin. Everybody's in the house today. Someone's doing the Donald J. Trump. Attaboy. I can't mention it because guess who's going to get upset? Susan. Hope everyone is having a great weekend as well. Well, we got Barely Good Tennis. Everybody check out Barely Good Tennis's channel. He's got some good stuff. Good to see you, Wes. But anyhow, can you really gain her attention and affection? Seriously, think about that. And if you can, how long do you get it? Right? Guys love to have the attention of a woman. We love it when a woman adores men. But does that even happen anymore? With OnlyFans, with social media, with head meds, with the insatiable demands of what they want? Are you even we're seeing it all over. Celebrities. We're seeing successful men. We're seeing middle of the road men, and they cannot maintain her attention for more than 10 minutes. You have no chance. And I get lots of guys continuing asking me, hey, I like this girl. She's different than everybody else. Okay. Again, can you maintain her attention and affection? I tried with my wife, and I got married in the mid to late 90s, so 97. Matt Downer, getting her attention and affection is physically impossible and expensive. He laid it down to Chinatown, guys. It is expensive. It is expensive in terms of finance. It is expensive in terms of mental and emotional exhaustion. Men's Daily Advice. What's good to see you, brother? Check out Men's Daily Advice channel. Jerron Markel from Brooklyn. Good to see you here. Just bought a 5K of gold and silver. Good for you. Did you buy coins, the vintage coins? I have a couple coins that are bought them like 12 years ago, 1897, 1903. They're gold eagles, $20 gold eagle pieces. They're so beautiful. I don't want to touch them. D-Man 50's in the house. Good to see D-Man, Wrenching, Big J. Big J, where are you from? Who else we got here? John Boston. Giselle did the I'm not happy. And you got married in 97. Back then it was a different world, but you could maintain attention. I mean, it was so different. But now you can't. It literally, women are on medication because the attention span, the ups and downs of the swings of attention is so vast and so crazy that they need medication to maintain it. And who are you even dealing with at that point? If someone's medicated, who are you dealing with? Are you really dealing with the person you think you are? Forget these 304s, invest in yourself. They will hold you back. Ain't that the truth? Well, what happens is I think what happens is this: men put all of their energy, focus, mental wherewithal into a woman, and in the end, 98% are not recommended. In the end, it doesn't work out, and they've wasted quite a bit of time, quite a bit of exhaustion, mental and emotional, and financial. Lisa Smith from Kansas City, cooking up some barbecue for later. Good morning, Rad. Nice change of scenery around you. I am in Paris Hilton's great-grandfather's establishment. Something I notice as girls tennis coach, they are always on social media, Snapchat, and TikTok. Their only validation comes from clicks and likes. Yeah, ask Wes. I mean, he coaches women's tennis. Greg Adams has talked about this, understanding that women seek attention and affection. I've got to do a stream on why I think that is, but it goes back to the caveman days. Shout out to Men's Daily Advice channel. Sub out to everybody that's got a channel, right? Oh, he's in Michigan. I was supposed to be in Michigan last week, but I told my company I'm not going. I'm riding my bike with my son. Matt Downer's in Michigan. Harshit, love from Punjab. Good to have our Indian brothers. You got the bars, never selling. There you go, brother. Hold on to them. Slice off a couple of shavings so you could buy a loaf of bread. Attention to all ladies is more valuable than water. What would happen if they lost their internet connection to all of their media? What would happen? I mean, we would see a shit show. Give them nothing. Don't give them anything that takes away from your peace, quiet, and freedom. That's how I look at it. Many don't have normal dopamine regulation. Any happiness is very short-term. Social media really is a drug. Well said. Well said, Wes. And he probably knows more than most of us because he coaches teenagers and late teenagers and early college gals. Polska's back. Rebel, this really is an author stream. It'll be notified. Attaboy. Polska, quit waffling. The sun announces its presence with light, not sound. Be the light, says Cesar. Cesar from Illinois. This is what I found. Most women are lazy, delusional, unaccountable, and insecure. And I think what drives that, Harshit, is the need for attention and the anxiety that they have without it. I remember hearing about a gal who had lots of likes, lots of followers. She posted a picture, got like 1 million likes. The next picture she posted, a day later, she got like 1/20th of the likes. And so she deleted the picture. Again, as Wes said, they only seek clicks and likes. Robert A's in the house. Good to see Robert, brother. Our New Yorker living in Texas. Surf Shack 2. You know what? This is what I tell guys. Seek peace, quiet, and freedom. And if a 1% to 2% pops in, vet them very well. Vet them very well. You catching any shows there, Rad? They got 1 or 2 for the venue. I'm not. I think we're going to a fish house tonight. So that's about it. I've got to stand on a floor and meet and greet a bunch of wackos. Robert, I'm here for work, unfortunately, down in Southern California. And it's our big trade show, national convention, 14,000 doctors in town, and they want to spend some money. We'll see what happens. Last week was a good week. The end of the September quarter, I was smashed out a bunch of deals. I'm I'm happy. Everything you were taught, brainwashed into believing how to get the lady, do the opposite. Remember, time is on the man's side. No cohabitation, no marriage, and no kids. If people really understand that, and put yourself first, right? What we have to do is put ourselves first. John Boston, hope you're doing well. It's cuffing season. He lays it down in Chinatown. And his good friend married a very large woman. And my dad used to call the large women back in the days 2-ton Tessies. I think it is real today, but the difference between 1982 to 1995, those 13 years, a large woman was invisible, especially in school. Now large women are on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. They are celebrities. They are #1 singers. And they have no qualms about showing their large appendages and large bodies. Very different world than when I grew up. Polska says, I got tickets for a band made on November 1st. I'm so excited to see one of the greatest live bands ever. Which band is that, brother? Greatest live bands ever. Would that be Alice in Chains? Hi, Rad. Got a court date 21st November for financial settlement, hoping I don't lose my house and all I've worked for. Please wish me luck. Stay single, fella. Stay single and don't mingle. Red pill medicine. Hang in there. I know what it's like. I think if you ask John Boston and all the other folks, D-Man, Hemi, all the folks that have gone through divorce, I think the hardest part for me was the anxiety of going into court, knowing that that person sitting behind with the gavel, if you didn't have good counsel, could really ruin your life. So hopefully you've got good counsel and that works out. However, if everything goes south, this is what you got to do. Keep the expectations very, very low. If it goes south, know that you can rebound. Know that. That is the most valuable piece of information I can give you. Know that you can get back on your feet. Barely Good Tennis says, I don't allow phones at practice, but nearly every moment is recorded by a Snapchat or a selfie. There's rarely a quiet moment with no phone. It's sad. Greatest thing I like to do, this is a very good point, Wes. The greatest thing I like to do is ride my bike or hike where there's no, I typically turn my phone off. If I don't turn my phone off, I listen to music, but I turn off I don't watch the messages. So I've got my phone in my pocket. I've got my earbuds. And then I'm doing my deal without any interference of someone trying to contact me, any pings or dings. And sometimes up even in Park City when I'm riding, I don't have reception. Typically, there is one part I do. I typically check in about an hour into the ride just to see if my kids haven't texted me. Robert, hey, you ask John Boston for a couple pics of that. It's shallow how to by 10. What I think is about courage. Most women lack courage. They can't take bold risks. And they can't put themselves on the line like men do. They literally and figuratively don't have the balls. I just think that most women follow the hive. And the hive is easy because the decisions have already been made. It's just kind of how their makeup is. But I would agree with that statement. Yeah, shout out to Red Pill Medicine, man. We're behind you. This leads to delusions and unaccountability. Well said, brother. Robert, he married her. They were dancing. He couldn't put his arm around her. I showed people the pics and said that my friend needed longer arms. John Boston had a social experiment just attending the wedding. Gotcha. Bandmade Rebel, check them. I think I did check them out. I think you sent me a video. Your ex will only keep in court until she runs out of money. Every Sikh send letters to mediate and get out of the court system. Attorneys will take all your money. Oh yeah, guys, it is a business. Simple as that. Without men to pay divorce fees, there's no business. That's why we say no marriage, no cohabitation, no kids. Learn from people like me that went through it. Protect your life and future. Buy the best damn lawyer you can afford in a divorce. Big J laying it down. Absolutely. My grandfather was an attorney and always said you get the biggest and baddest bulldog attorney you can get, regardless if you can afford it or not. Elias Antonio de la Huerta. Hi there, Rad. Nice to see you. Regarding the question, I'm going to say no. Remember Berfault's law. Absolutely, brother. You can't keep their attention and affection. What's interesting is we're seeing now that Stallone is somehow mingling back with his lady. Is that a publicity stunt? I think once they got to that point, once you get to the point of uh, that, it's from here on out, it's either trying to safeguard to maintain status quo or something. They're already divorced. They're just, it's all bullshit. I just got that link, Polska. Check it out. Joe Biden, glad to see y'all guys here. Happy Saturday to you. Joe, where are you from? I can't remember. The weather's starting to get cool in Texas, still in Brooklyn. It's getting cold in Utah, too. The friend of mine, Shalahow, told me he couldn't believe she was single. Oh, my gosh. I wish we could put a picture of her up and just see what people thought, John. Sadly, I cannot get out of it. She'll listen to zero reason, doesn't want to mediate, just wants courts to settle. Well, that's typical, man. This is the typical woman. This is the woman that, I don't know if you have kids, that you gave everything, and this is what happens. They show up. This is when you meet the woman for real. This is the woman that you should have met, 10, 15, 20 years ago. If you would have known that woman then, you would not be in this predicament. See, men continue to seek the attention and affection of women, and they think that if we marry them, we've got their fully undivided attention and affection. That doesn't exist, right? Timmy Kramer, the forever bachelor, got back from the gym, 225 in high school, 230. Dang, dude. And those extra 5 pounds is all muscle, more mental muscle than the muscle of peace, quiet, and freedom. Timmy Kramer, good to see Timmy. The Hive is a nauseating place. Gossip, backstabbing, all the worst character traits females have. No thanks, not for me. Lots of women do not like other women. Lots of women are jealous of other women. Women do not get makeup and dressed up for men. They get made up and dressed up for other women. It's all a big competition. At least 98%. As Lisa says. Geron says church and marriage is all a business. It's all about getting money. That can't be further from the truth. That is the truth. Church is basically a business. And they hide behind the good old book and the big man in the sky. At the end of the day, if you're getting divorced and you go to your pastor, hey, please talk to my wife, he won't. They don't do anything. And then the woman comes in, oh man, I'm just having struggles, but I'm gonna throw my support behind Jesus. Hallelujah. And then typically, as Greg Adams says, the pastor's going to start smashing that. Bob's out delivering flowers to all the simps. Hang in there, red pill. Do not give her the satisfaction of seeing you defeated. That's the one thing. I mean, let her put you in a gutter. Let her put you in a tent. Look what Brandon Trueblood, he was living in a tent for a year and a half. Now he's driving trucks. You can get out of your situation. Never give her the power that she destroyed you. Fine, she gets the house. It's a damn house. In fact, all of the values are going down anyways. Let her take it over. But you can get behind the wheel of a big 18-wheeler a year and a half, have $120,000 stacked up in cash and have no friggin' place to live, or a place to live because you live in the cab. So there's ways to do it. Well said, Surf Shack. I have 2 kids, one of them being hers from a previous marriage, and I raised that child since she was 5, like my own blood. She's now 21. I also have a 9-year-old boy. So you have a 9-year-old. You got 9 years. Okay. Well, you do what most men do. You showed up and you took on quite a bit of baggage because you loved her and you loved the idea of family. There's nothing wrong with that. Hold your head high. In the end, this is what happens. Regardless if they're biological or non-biological. Mine were alienated from me. And I cut the cord of every single one of them. John Markel, ladies do not like ladies. Fact. Lone Wolf's back. Too many options. Too many options for 300 Trebek. Typical mind didn't reason with me. All the proof of being a good dad. It's just what they do. Exiting the matrix. It's just a playbook, right? It's just a playbook. This is all they do. They take the man to court. They try to bruise the man every possible way, get him in trouble so that they get more alimony and more support and more child. They get the children, and then they can say, "Hey, I'm the better person." That's all they're seeking. That's what mine did. It took 29 months. Don't be in this situation if you can. Christos Delos, guys, let it go. Focus on yourselves, and that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to let all of that go, but it still pops up every now and again, and you still have to take your red pills every day. Christos, where are you from? Festive season coming up. Diwali is big here in India, and in you. I don't know what that is. Is that an Indian holiday celebration? We got some new peeps here. Absolutely. Polska laying it down to Chinatown. Ishi's back. Every time and generation is deprived of something, we give up love for technology in our time. Technology is the new love. And by the way, I've got a 0.0 Heineken. It's my breakfast, 65 calories. It tastes good. Here we go. Female nature is real. It's not because they are bad people. They are wired up differently. And that's the thing. This is what people, you don't want to hate on the ladies. You just want to understand the ladies. You want to understand that our brain is not like theirs. Their brain is not like ours. Our desires are not like theirs. Their desires is not like ours. If you can really understand it, you can stay out of a lot of trouble. Simple as that. And if you can stay out of a lot of trouble, you're going to have peace, quiet, and freedom. Again, the red pill in my version is literally waking up to reality. That the fantasy that we once thought, and I lived in the fantasy, was that I could love a woman, we could have great kids, we could be each other's better half. And that didn't pan out. That wasn't the truth. That was the fantasy. That was the truth of the fantasy, not the truth of the reality. The reality was, hey, she got bored. Hey, we grew apart. Hey, she had different desires. Hey, she thought she was she won the kids. And you just let her go. And if you can look back and say, hey, my divorce, yeah, it sucks. My family's broken up. You would have loved to have the kids under one umbrella, one house, one bedroom, instead of 2 bedrooms, 2 Christmases, 2 Thanksgiving. But in the end, I'm happy I'm divorced. Wasn't happy at the beginning, but divorce has brought on a lot of great things in my life. So you got to look at it like that. If you get to the point where she gave you a gift, and it might be a hard gift to open, it might be full of bankruptcy, anger, but once you get past it, you're going to look at it. And I know it sounds cliche. I've been there. Oh, look at your divorce as a gift. Oh, when you're going through it, you don't. Rebel pizza or burger for lunch? Burger. Diwali is the Indian festival of lights. We light up our houses and burst firecrackers. Extremely popular. Interesting. Well, have fun tonight. Have some Kingfisher. After a date or two, the drama all comes out eventually, and I walk away smiling, knowing I won't put up with that nonsense. You know what it is? It's like, if you like dogs, but you don't want dogs because dogs take money, time, you got to walk them, you got to clean up their poop, you can't leave them alone, you can't travel, you have to kennel them. But if your neighbor has a dog and you can hang out once a week for an hour and you get your dog fixed, that's what we're talking about. That's exactly what Timmy is talking about. You don't have to own it. You don't have to take care of it. You can pet it for an hour and you get your fix. And I think that's what you should do if a 1% to 2% drops in your life. You don't have to marry her. You don't have to have kids. You don't have to live with her. But you can enjoy each other. I'm not a big wings fan, Polska. But I do like Korean short ribs. I know it's not wings, but there's still bones in them. The chameleons who pose as the exceptions in male chats and podcasts are no exception. It's all about survival when it comes to the female. She needs you. She's only with you out of necessity. Let's say you've got a gal that makes $500,000 a year. She doesn't need your money, but she probably likes it when you spend money on her. What is she seeking from you if she likes you? What is she seeking? But for the most part, 98%, maybe 99% are seeking resources. Glad I found your channel. Cool, you're a fellow Wasatch Front resident, Toddzilla. I'm just up the street. I'm by Lagoon. The Disneyland of the mountains. Todzilla. Good to have Todd. Good day, Rad. God bless you folks. Rebel against defeat. That's what we're doing here. We are rebelling against defeat. We're rebelling against the situations we've been put in and helping others. Every single one of men is here because of a lady. Either you've never been with a lady, you've been rejected, you've been through a divorce, you've been through a breakup, you've been through infidelity. It didn't work. And we're sharing our experiences so that we don't repeat those experiences again, or we help others not to get in those situations. It's as simple as that. That's why I do the channel. People out there, monetizing their channel and try to, consultations and all that crap. Why? We help others. You get more value out of helping others than charging somebody. Men are nothing but accounts, not just financial, but also emotional and physical accounts to be used and drained as they see fit. The emperor is laying it down to Chinatown. We're just a big number, a 16-digit number on a 3x5 card. They all cost too much in the short and especially in the long haul. Truth. CJ, rock on. Bro, you got it right. Good to have CJ. Brad, what do you think about Donald Trump? Do you also think lowly of him like liberals? No. Donald Trump, he's a different type of dude. He polarizes, but I like the fact that he doesn't say sorry. Keeps his boundaries. He's no simp. Now he's been married 3 times. His personal life is his personal life, but I did like a lot of the things he did. I did vote for him. I'd rather have him than who we got now. That's why I can't go back to the plantation. I know how much it costs for money, energy, attention, and time. Correct? They do know the game, man. I'm telling you. Even the Chads get ghosted, guys. They just get in the front of the line. That's it. Divorced after being with her 21 years, says Big J. I was almost to 20. I know what it's like. But, we would have never have made it anyways because we didn't like each other. It's terrible how much I wasted my life, 30 some odd chasing tails with calls, dates, and buying gifts and working overtime. Once you get to the point where, what did you get out of it, right? You spent so much time, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. What did you get? Right? That's what you got to ask yourself. And people got to be real with themselves. What are you getting? Jason Reed's in the house. Good to see Jason. A disposable utility to be used is how we're treated. I think a lot of women look at men as utilities and attention factories. We're just going to get her attention by buying her something or saying something nice to her. We're just a factory to give her attention. What do you think about your Social Security? Your Social Security number is, you're basically the number in society. Yep. We're a barcode for the government. The straw man, absolutely. Someone went into court, tried to defend himself. Like he called himself John Strawman. Thanks for the daily dose of Red Pill Rad. I promise I'll personally thank you with a single malt. I most certainly will. There you go. Manage Roy from Mumbai is in the house. Good to have Manage. They give you the sad face, and so you try to make them happy. And the only thing that ends up happening is they make you miserable. I don't listen to them anymore. Well, there's not a lot. When you remove go on YouTube and look at all of the videos that women do to enhance their looks. There are women that are not attractive and they put their makeup and extensions and they completely transform. There's tons of videos. And once you understand when that comes off at night, they are not that person you think they are. Makeup is fake up. John Markel, this is why if men withdraw attention from women, feminazi war. Oh, sure. Now, there's talk that, hey, men are leaving the plantation. They're not getting married. They're this and that. Women, they're not dating. Women are upset. Women are trying to get them. They're coming back and saying they're going to be submissive. That's all BS, guys. I didn't get much. What I got was proof. The world can't tell you what you are. Internal validation is the last bastion in this dirty life. We don't need a woman to validate us. I'm going to say that again. We don't need women. In fact, that is not what men seek. Men seek purpose, men seek drive. That's our validation internally, creating, doing something, climbing a mountain. That mountain can be anything, overcoming adversity. A woman should never be center of your life. You should never wake up and just think 100% all day about a woman. You should be thinking about your purpose, working out, getting better, getting stronger, getting out of debt, building something. Well said, AZ. Why are we chameleons? I respect my husband. My place in this marriage is not as his equals. Please explain. Well, I think Lisa and Cesar and some of these other gals are not typical. But I would agree with Jerron that 98% of women are chameleons. Life is dirty, but internal validation can and does help you keep yourself clean. Ooh, well said, AZ. No man will ever keep a woman's attention, just like women can't keep a man. How does a woman keep a man? Is it the sexual part? Is it the physical part? Well said. Link to the straw man. Social media is the worst. I can't believe I used it in the past. Complete waste of time. It is a waste of time. People say YouTube is a social media. It is in a sense, but it's not. We're not seeking attention with this, right? I mean, some do. Some only seek clicks and likes and all that jazz, and they want to be monetized and all that crap. But this is just a forum where we can chat. Elections coming up in Denmark. Big Dick Dane. Mostly, it's all rotten female candidates on both sides. Even the prime minister is, and most likely she'll get elected. No longer interested. I'm out. It's happening everywhere, man. It's happening everywhere. That's why I say we all have to be strong internally. I'd love to see all men in America strong, money in the bank, owning a home, and not simping for women. I think 99% of all men are simps. We're reformed simps, some of us, right? The attention and affection is attainable, but not sustainable for women. It's called the honeymoon phase. Absolutely. So if it's not sustainable, what do? They break up, find another. They go on head meds. They go on social media for attention, right? It is well said, unsustainable. It is unsustainable. It is only temporary. It's temporary. Like, you guys remember the Fruit Stripes gum back in the day? It was like a zebra with different colors, and they look so cool. It was like a toy gum, and you eat it, and it tastes really tutti fruity flavors, and then like 10 seconds later, it's gone. Like all of the flavors gone. That's what we're talking about. The physically difficult things men go through for internal validation usually occurs miles from women. They can't validate us when they haven't endured hardship. Well said, Wes. You're a positive chameleon because you are in a male's chat to make relevance of the good wife you are. You shouldn't have to say I respect. No, you don't. I don't know where that's coming from. I can proudly say I don't have Instagram or Facebook or any other of those dreadful sites. I do enjoy YouTube very much, but I feel that it's different. I have come to terms women aren't meant to keep a man, but to validate their biological agenda and her insurance plan. Sorry for my pessimism, but this is my lived experience in regard to them, period. And we all have different experiences. And so what do we do, right? We work on ourselves. We move forward. We say, hey, we have an objective to accomplish. The objective is to become better. Can we get better by chasing tail, by chasing women? Right? I grew up with Hubba Bubba. Remember that gum in the 80s? That's exactly them. I remember Hubba Bubba. They actually had some good bubbles. What was the other one? Hubba Bubba and Fruit Stripes. Juicy Fruit. Big League Chew, Pepperidge Farms. Big League Chew is good too. But we used to eat that. We used to chew Big League Chew when I played t-ball and baseball. My dad would get us a pack of it. We thought we were cool. We thought it was chew, but it is what it is. So that's the story, Morning Glory. It's all about moving forward, Put the attention on yourselves, right? This is why we're here. Put the attention on yourselves. Understand that where you've come from is not where you are going. If I can make that any clearer. What you've been through now is the following, but where you're going is completely different. And it's a choice you make. I mean, I could have let the divorce completely derail me. I could have been angry. I could have drunk myself to death. I know multiple friends that have killed themselves because of it. And I looked at it, and it took, 7 years now? 7 years, going on 7.5 years. And I look back and say, wow, it sucked. It was horrible. But I'm glad I went through it. I wouldn't be here if I didn't go through it. Jerron, men are the prize by supply and demand. There are less men and more women. 100%. Who built the skyscrapers? Who built the automobile? Who built the microwave? Who built the oven? Who built the dishwasher? Who built technology? Men. Men first. She is not yours. It's just your turn. They have a Chad rotation, and we have a simp problem. They give women all day long too much attention. And it's not good. A lot of simps. The simp army is strong and powerful. A lot of Green Berets that are in the simp army, defending those gals. And we've seen it over and over. Death by simp. Greg Adams talks about it. Europe says it right here. Oftentimes a divorce is a blessing in disguise. That was me. Now, going through it sucked. Oh, I didn't want to be divorced. I tried everything. I looked at the fantasy. And then I had to do exactly what I said in my booklet that I wrote. You write the pros and cons down. What are the pros? Be generous. What are the cons of her? What are the pros? My cons were 4-1. And then I had to understand the fantasy is not the reality. The fantasy of what I was believing in my head was not the reality of who she became or who we became. And once you realize that the reality was not the fantasy, and you start to read, and then it starts sinking in, but it's not going to sink in right away. It takes time. And now we can look back and say my divorce was a blessing. Prior military experience, I've found way more satisfaction enduring difficult times with my brothers instead of when I run over an hour in 95 degrees heat with a click and like at the end. Well said, Wes. Now, improve your life one by one. If any of you guys are ever in Phoenix, get a hold of me. I'll buy you a beer. Hell yeah, Timmy. We'll be there. I love what you're sharing here, Rad. I wish I had a dad like you. My dad's sadly more concerned about his leg count and himself than my mom. His lady's in Dominican. My dad was a very stoic man. Didn't talk a lot. He gave me a lot of freedom. He was a strong man. I was scared of my father, and that wasn't a bad thing. Because being a little worried that your dad would kick your ass kept me out of trouble. I had friends who had really simpy dads, and they're in trouble. They got in trouble. My dad was tough. You come home late, your ass is grass. My dad grounded me for a month, and he stood by it. But I appreciate him now because I learned strong lessons. Mr. Elite is in Phoenix. I think I knew that. When you give her attention, you've made her day. It's all about her. How about she do a Clint Eastwood and make your day? So if you ever go to the gym, I'm sure Jerron goes to the gym or has. Don't look at the women that are there where all the other simps are looking. You know whose attention that woman wants? Yours. She got all the easy attention from all the simps, but the guy that doesn't give her attention is the one she wants. I remember I went out with a gal about 5 years ago, and I said, out of all the guys you've dated, who's the guy you liked? It's the guy that never, ever put me first. All the other guys were sending me emojis, a good morning. It's the guy that never gave her attention. Right from the horse's mouth. Hi, Rad. Hope you're doing well. I love to watch police interrogation on Crime Circus Cult. Suzanne Fleming. Good to have Suzanne. Hope you survived that hurricane. I don't know how far away you were, but I know you're in Florida. Thanks for attending the chat. The grass is not greener on the other side. In every relationship, there is a negative and positive balance in Germany. I see couples, and 99% of them look so unhappy they are afraid to be alone. Fear of being alone is a huge motivator to stay with gals, to excuse their bad behavior. And that's what most folks are doing. They don't want to be alone. Being alone is great. I have no problem. FJT, where are you? I'm down close to Disneyland. I'm here for a convention. Lots of exhibitors, you should see the women that exhibit that work for like the pharmaceutical companies. They're all dressed to the hilts, bolt-ons, extensions, looking for attention. It's actually a social experiment. Even though I have to go today, what time is it? 9:30. No, it's at 9:40. I got to be there in an hour and a half, and then I'm done by 4. So it is what it is. This is a big show, national, once a year. Good to see our Giga Chad FJT. Check out FJT's channel as well. Even my dad is the same. He is a simp and not a crooked man, forcing me for marriage for the girl of his choice. Not my choice, and I'm not interested in marriage at all. I would not marry. Apparently in India, as Manoj Roy and Harshit have told us, it's the same environment with a different language and different skin color or different culture. I don't want anything of attention from these females. They are walking time stealers. Can't say that word, AZ. I have a rotation of 3 a night right now. 3 girls, right? I give them the bare minimum. That way they give me the maximum. Isn't that true? Less is more. Who would have thought? Lived with a lady for about 10 years. It was okay back in 99 to 08. Thank God, no kids. Never again will I live with one of those. Used to be the opposite sex. Now my attention is in welding rust in old cars. There you go. You're doing something that you enjoy. Peace, quiet, and freedom. Again, this is why we're here. Peace, quiet, and freedom. If a woman pops in, as Jerome Markel talks about, and even though there's risk and rewards there, but it sounds like he's running it fine. I'm happy to be alone. It is a society that indoctrinates that being alone is a bad thing. Correct. You know what's funny? It's funny you say that. Well, it's good that you say that. Sub out to FJT. Have you been noticing a lot of articles on the internet or news articles about these older women? Like they're showcasing Demi Moore in her bikini at 56. They're showcasing Helena Christensen, Paulina, whomever. All these women in their 45 and older. Oh my gosh, she has a smoking body for 45. It's almost as though they're trying to get the attention and keep the fantasy that women are always attractive at any age. Unfortunately, a woman's prime is between 18 and 26. That is when most women should be having children and having families, not when they're 40. Oh, Hilary Swank having twins at 48. Can you believe it? It hurts seeing how simpish your dad has become. Well, I think that happens to a lot of guys, especially. I got a buddy that's 61, FJT. I'm alone, not lonely. Well said. And he's lonely. He needs that woman to be by his side to feel better about himself. And I keep trying to tell him, you don't need that. Let's go. Brandon says, hey, Raj, just canceled a first date with an older woman in her mid-40s. Now she's texting me and chasing me nonstop. They are desperate. A lot of them are. Time is what they're thinking. I got to snatch a guy up. Desperation. Attention has no value for her because everyday simps validating her. Most women have mental issues. A woman who needs a lot of validation and attention is not confident and does not like herself. Well said, Europe. And they're the 98% or more. That simple thing, less is more. That's the secret to all females. Play the game they play on us. Have the cheat code. Well, I think that the moment you put a woman center to your life and seek her attention, it's over. When you do the opposite, as John Markel talks about, don't give him any attention. Less is more. Don't reply back to him. That's when you have the maximum from the minimum you give. I live in North Fort Myers, direct hit. I think almost everyone is here. Oh, Godspeed to you guys, Suzanne. Hope all is well. Yeah, Fort Myers was the direct hit. Isn't that beach or something like that? It's completely devastated. All of my dates, I pay nothing, just doing free stuff at Max One Coffee for $1. They use men for dinner dates. I remember I got used on a foodie call a couple years ago. This gal was a reporter for a news station, and I took her out twice, and I swear all she cared about was the food. Every day she had a date for dinner. That was probably 5 years ago. Have you seen these reaction video of these guys completely not giving their girlfriends attention? I have. I wonder how true they are, though. Some of them are skits, but I think some of them are true. Thirsty men, all we are in some sense, but the more one invests in SEXX, it's like any dopamine driven activity. It has its cost and can be expensive. Absolutely. And that's what we have to understand. You know, guys smashing these guys that say they've smashed 1,500, again, putting a woman central to their purpose. That's not a man's purpose. When the female answers questions, she's not telling you the truth. She's giving you the political correct answer. Well said. Guys, this has been great. Glad to reach out and have a chat this morning. Remember, put the attention all about yourself. Less is more. Put it all on yourself and see how life turns out. Remember, peace, quiet, and freedom is the purpose you seek. Rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, men first.